Here's your First Warn Weather Forecast First, sponsored by Anderson Collision Center. Visit driveanderson.com.
Well, we have had plenty of cloud cover out throughout much of this afternoon. However, there have been some breaks here and there, so some areas have been dealing with a little sunshine, which has warmed our temperatures. You see some lighter snow showers showing up on radar, but we've got a lot of dry air, so not really seeing much of that reach the ground just yet. We are now up to 40 in Rockford. We've spent most of the day in the 30s, 41 in Rochelle, 39 in DeKalb, and 44 down in Sterling. As we go through this evening, temperatures will stay in those lower 40s and upper 30s. We'll drop only into the low 30s by the time we get into tomorrow, but some heavier snowfall for some, which could impact that morning commute. We'll look at who is under a winter weather advisory and how much snow we could see into tomorrow. That is coming up in the First Warn forecast a little later.
A traffic stop leads to the arrest of two men. Police say a canine detected drugs in their car. Plus an update on the economy here in the state line, the role Rockford's airport plays in economic development of the area. And a local teenager set to take the international stage. She says the chance to compete for her country is well worth all the hard work.
Live from WTVO 17, this is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy. Belvidere police arrest two men after finding drugs during a traffic stop. Adair Jose Alamo and Arthur Young are facing several charges, including manufacturing or delivering cannabis and possession of cannabis. Officers say they were conducting a traffic stop Saturday night for a tinted windows violation when a police canine detected drugs in their car. During an investigation, police found what they believed to be over 100 grams of cannabis. Both Alamo and Young were taken to the Boone County Jail. A winter weather advisory is set to go into effect later tonight. Let's check back in with Candace. Just how much snow are we expecting to see, Candace?
Well, you know, for some, there's going to be enough to shovel, if you could believe it. After what has been a very dry winter, our springtime starts off with the potential for some snow, and we do have a little bit of that here as we head throughout this afternoon and evening. You see some lighter snow showers there showing up on radar, but as I mentioned, not much of that actually reaching the ground just yet because of the dry air that we do have in place. Now, there is a winter weather advisory for southern Wisconsin and for some counties here in northern Illinois. That includes Joe Davies, Stevenson, Winnebago, Boone, and McHenry counties in the area. South of that, I don't think we'll see much, if any, snowfall here, or at least any real impactful snow as we go throughout that time. When we look at what we're expecting here as we go throughout the afternoon and then into the evening, nothing really significant for us. So you've still got things to do, no problems with that. I mentioned that drier air we currently have in place. Well, look at our dew point temperatures in the single digits still in some locations. So it is very, very dry out there. So it does take a little time before we start to see our air mass begin to saturate. The storm system originating off to the northwest, so you can really start to see those bands of snow begin to develop here across the far northern plains, and eventually that will work in our direction as we look through tonight. So when we put this together and we look about 2-3 o'clock tomorrow morning, this is when I think we'll start to see some of that snow begin to move in. Now, for some, it is going to be heavy. I think the heaviest bands of snow right now are going to stay in far southern Wisconsin, but there is a possibility for that heavy snow band to shift just south of the state line. If it does, that means we could pick up on some higher snowfall rates, where those snowfall rates could come in at about an inch or two per hour going into that morning commute time frame. You get south of about Highway 20, I don't think your impacts, at least tomorrow morning, are going to be as significant, but as we get through the noon hour, that's when we'll start to see the snow begin to overspread. So for some, several inches of snow will be possible. We'll put some numbers to those snowfall totals here, Mimi, coming up a little later.
All right, thanks, Candace. Republican lawmakers are pressing the governor's office about the amount of money spent on non-citizens. Members of Governor J.B. Pritzker's team and the governor's Office of Management and Budget testified before lawmakers on how much the state has paid to address the migrant crisis and on non-citizen health care. But State Senator Chapin Rose says he still has questions.
How much is it that's being spent? Where is it being spent? The governor's office didn't answer the question directly. Gombe didn't answer the question directly.
When we passed the budget a year ago, we didn't know what fiscal year 24 was going to look like. So there have been some lines that had some flexibility that we've been able to use to support the costs that the state was not prepared for to assist the city in the response.
The governor's proposed budget includes an additional $182 million to address the issue, including over $600 million for the non-citizen health care programs. Tonight, Winnebago County board members are expected to adopt a resolution about the abandonment of asylum seekers here in the state line. It states the county will not use taxpayer-funded reserves for long-term housing, medical, or other needs of asylum seekers. The resolution goes on to say if they are abandoned in Winnebago County and cannot get to the landing zone in Chicago, the county will use general fund money related to costs for transportation to Chicago and any essential care. This was brought up earlier this month. Tonight's meeting is just committee. It will still need to go to the full board for a vote. The state of Illinois creates a new working group to get more teachers into the classrooms. Former educator and state representative Kate Stewart will lead the group of 8 representatives from across Illinois. They'll work on recruiting new teachers and look into ways to retain qualified ones still teaching. A 2023 report found staffing gaps in critical areas like special education, but it showed the overall teacher shortage has slowed. A new report shows Illinois payroll jobs increased while the unemployment rate rose slightly last month. The Illinois Department of Employment Security announced that the unemployment rate is now sitting at 4.8%. That's nearly 1% higher than the national rate. Non-farm payroll jobs also increased by more than 2,300. The largest industry gains were in government, education, and health services, along with leisure and hospitality. Local leaders learn more about the latest developments in the 4 cities' economy. Community members and area leaders were invited to listen to an update on economic development and job creation in Rockford. Rockford's airport was highlighted for its upcoming plans to introduce more routes for travelers. The facility's executive director says these types of discussions are a great way to spread the word about new opportunities in the region.
Community engagement for the airport is a very vital thing. We need to be able to get out there, talk to the community about the benefits of the airport, what's going on. It's one of those things people may be driving past it and just really don't understand just all the growth that's happened over the years and then just how it impacts them.
The Workforce Connection in Midway Village also delivered updates on their latest projects. Marijuana sales in Illinois are expected to grow faster this year compared to last year. Cranes, citing the firm Whitney Economics, reports recreational and medical pot sales are forecasted to reach a combined $2.2 billion. That's up from a little less than $2 billion last year. Sales are set to grow 11.5% in 2024 compared to nearly 3% in 2023. More retailers are also likely to launch this year. A local teenager is getting the chance to represent the U.S. on the international stage, and she'll be bringing along a 4-legged friend. Drea Brony caught up with the pair. Drea, her dog is really the star of the show.
Mimi, Arista Haig made her dream come true at just 17 years old. She's competing in Belgium at the Junior Open Agility World Championship, representing Team USA. It took a lot of hard work for her to get to this point. She started when she was just 7 years old. Now she's competing at the highest junior level. Arista and her dog Tay stopped by the station this morning to tell me all about it.
It feels amazing. I can't wait to go over there and just run with some of the best junior handlers in the world there is. I already know that some of the people on the team, and they have some amazing dogs, and I can't wait to just be part of the team with them.
Arista and Tay will compete with 26 other handlers in July. I'll have more on how they're gearing up for the big competition coming up later at 6. Mimi?
Oh, they're terrific. All right, thanks, Drea. The Department of Justice is taking legal action against Apple. Up next, federal officials say the company's created a monopoly, but analysts believe their claims of harm are not so clear. And coming up at 6, state lawmakers push to improve public safety. One proposal would change a bill passed last year.
And wintry weather is set to return here as we head throughout the next 24 hours. In fact, some accumulating snowfall for some going into tomorrow. We'll look at where the greatest impacts are expected to stay. Coming up in the first warn forecast a little later.
The U.S. Justice Department says Apple is running an illegal phone monopoly. Rashad Hudson reports the DOJ claims the company hurts consumers, developers, and small businesses by limiting competition in its app store.
The Department of Justice in 16 states are suing Apple. They're accusing the iPhone maker of running a monopoly that hurts its competitors and costs its customers money.
Consumers should not have to pay higher prices because companies break the law.
Attorney General Merrick Garland claims Apple is blocking rival companies from accessing hardware and software features of its iPhones.
If left unchallenged, Apple will only continue to strengthen its smartphone monopoly. But there's a law for that.
The DOJ accuses Apple of limiting the functions of third-party software and smartwatches and reducing the quality of messages between iPhones and other smartphones.
We allege that Apple has consolidated its monopoly power not by making its own products better, but by making other products worse.
Carl Szabo with NetChoice disagrees with the lawsuit and says the DOJ will have a hard time proving that customers were harmed.
It's not about protecting consumers. It's advancing the power and weaponization of antitrust law by the government against businesses that they may not like.
Szabo believes the DOJ's lawsuit will hurt innovation.
In fact, it wants the dumbest of phones for all of us and says somehow that is pro-consumer when it is anything but.
Apple calls the lawsuit wrong on the facts and the law and says it plans to vigorously defend against it. Reporting in Washington, Rashad Hudson.
It's spring, but there is a chance of snow in the forecast. After the break, Candace tells us when flurries could reach the state line.
Now, your First Warn weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, we've got some sunshine across parts of the area where the clouds have thinned out a little from the thicker cloud cover earlier today. Lots of it showing up on our SkyTrack camera looking to the east here out of the Poplar Grove Airport. And that's actually helped our temperatures warm a bit. We spent most of the day today in the 30s, but we've managed to make it up to 40 degrees in Rockford, now up to 40 in Freeport. Lower 40s a little further to the southwest, 44 currently in Sterling, 41 in Rochelle, and we're at 39 degrees right now in DeKalb. Our weather watcher Terry down in Genoa, 39 degrees, but look at the dew point temperature, 17. So it is pretty dry out there. In fact, it has been very dry here the last several days. You may have noticed it. Maybe your skin's been a little more dry or you've had more static in your hair. Today is no exception, but those dew point temperatures, those are going to start to climb tonight as we bring in a little more moisture, and eventually that does lead to some snowfall. All right, let's look at what we've got here on radar, because it does look like we've got some snow showers trying to develop and even some rain showers too. But because of that dry air, not really any of that is reaching the ground. So I'm not too concerned with that here as we go through this evening. Outside of maybe a sprinkle or a flurry or two that tries to reach the surface, we are going to stay pretty dry. We look a little further upstream. This is where our storm system beginning to originate from and really starting to get going. And that's what moves in overnight tonight and into the start of tomorrow. So when we play this out here on Futurecast, notice this is about 2-3 o'clock tomorrow morning. We've got some snow showers beginning to move in. By that time, that drier air does become a little more saturated, so we'll start to see that precipitation reach the ground. Now, going into this is still kind of a tricky forecast, so to say, and it's a really interesting one too. So when we go through tonight and very early tomorrow, so this stops us here around sunrise tomorrow morning, we are likely going to be dealing with some form of some heavy bands of snow, and this is most likely going to set up in southern Wisconsin. We can actually see that here on Futurecast. You've got some heavier snow banding developing there from Green Rock and Walworth County, and this is really where I think a lot of that heavier snow is going to stay through the morning. But notice just south of the state line here in the counties that have that winter weather advisory, the potential is there that that heavy snow band could sneak a little further south. And if that's the case, that places far northern Illinois under some of those heavier snow bands. Now, further south of that, you might not really get any precipitation tomorrow morning. But by the time we get closer to noon, as the cold front comes in, notice that begins to spread in from west to east. So everyone will get in on some snowfall at least by tomorrow afternoon and then going into tomorrow evening. Looks like I put my Futurecast back to back, so we'll run through that again. Here's the snowfall as that comes in tomorrow afternoon. As I mentioned, we'll see most of that for the area here. That'll be out of here by late tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening as the wind will pick up there from the north and northwest going into the weekend. Now, when we look at our snowfall potential here, that heaviest coming up for some going into the morning hours tomorrow, and then a little bit of that rain rain snow mix there once we get into the time frame tomorrow afternoon. Heavier snow across southern Wisconsin. That's where we could see 3 to 6 inches. I think from Highway 20 north to the state line, that range is about 1 to 5. South of that, you've got about maybe 1 to 2 inches of snow coming up, probably closer to that 1 inch mark. And then by that time we get into early next week, it's rain by Monday.
All right, thanks, Candace. Reagan Holgate's in next with sports. Rockford native Fred Van Vliet and the Rockets tip off tonight against the Bulls. She'll have a game preview after the break.
Now sports with Reagan Holgate.
Illinois' run in the Big Dance started today in Omaha, a town known for college baseball, but this weekend it's all about the hoops. This is the Illini's 4th straight trip to the NCAA tournament, but this year feels a little different. This team is playing for its reputation. They have a recent history of bowing out in the first or second round, so can Illinois silence the doubters this March? Well, they are on the right track here. A dominant second half propels Illinois past Moorhead State 85-69, and part of that effort was led by Marcus Domask. He had a triple-double, 12 points, 10 assists, and 11 rebounds, becoming just the 9th player in tournament history to do so. So let's talk about who the Illini will go up against on Saturday. The magic of March is already in full effect, folks. Second game of the day here between Duquesne and BYU, and the Dukes come through with the upset win, 71-67. That's Duquesne's first tournament win since 1969. 55 years later, and the Dukes are still dancing.
When you start the Atlantic 10 0-5 and you lose a lot of heartbreakers and, you know, people kind of count you out, I thought we did an unbelievable job of taking their punches and punching back. You know, they wobbled us for sure, but we just kept fighting back. We just made enough plays. And again, nothing has come easy for this group. We've had to do it the hard way. We were running uphill all year.
But now they're running to the round of 32 where they will face Terrence Shannon Jr. and the Fighting Illini. But hey, who needs March Madness when you have the Bulls playing the Rockets for a chance to get back to 500, right? Rockford native Fred Van Vliet is averaging over 16 points and 8 assists for Houston right now. The last time the two met in January, the Bulls actually won in overtime, and that was thanks to a 30-point effort from Kobe White. Both White and Alex Cruzo are listed on the injury report as game time decisions. Tip-off is set for tonight at 7 p.m. Now, what the Rock Valley women's basketball team has done this season is nothing short of incredible. Historic is just one word to sum it up. The Golden Eagles were going after a championship ring this week at the national tournament in Joplin, Missouri. Their quest fell just short last night as they lost to Mesa 80-70. That's their first loss of the season, now leaving them with a 34-1 overall record. But the basketball isn't done just yet. RVC will play number 5 seed Iowa Western tomorrow afternoon in a 5th place semifinal game. That's sports. We'll be right back.
Well, our first Warning Interactive Radar brought to us by Rockford Auto Glass and More. We've got some snow showers that'll move in late tonight and for some through the morning hours tomorrow. That will impact the morning commute, especially across southern Wisconsin. But some of those impacts could fall along and north of Highway 20. To the south, a little more rain-snow mix, but more rain for everyone next week.
All right, thanks, Candace, and thanks for joining us. Have a good evening.